This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to SimTrax Broadcast. And we are bringing you the NSR Xfinity Series presented by the NC811.org team. Definitely check before you dig. Here we are in Georgia. At least it's hot here. I don't know about everybody else, but a lot of temperatures are dipping below zero. But here at Atlanta, it's going to be hot, hot, hot out there on the track. We've got a lot of drivers really excited about laying down some of the rubber here at the track. Stella joining alongside me tonight. This should be an excellent race, seeing that we raced Atlanta a little bit earlier this season. And to no surprise, we had a great race, not full of a whole bunch of cautions out there, but a lot of guys are going to be kind of looking to turn this upside down and fix the race that they had last time and maybe have a little better luck with the run here tonight.
Yeah, last time we were at Atlanta was the end of November, right after Turkey Day. And Ehrman actually came in front of Hines as winning this race. So we maybe see a little bit of a change-up compared to what we've had the past few weeks.
Yeah, and a couple things that may be changing up just a little bit. Checking out there in the race here tonight, Stella, I am not seeing Mr. Hines out here going to be racing tonight. So we may be crowning yet another winner, hopefully, that we'll see here in the playoff spot here in just a moment. But I do want to take a look how Kenny Davis was doing in the 97 Chevrolet. He's working his way down pit road now. 7th place for him. He may be marching back, kind of a little bit of a slow time for him, a 32:17, and I don't think that's going to be one that's going to be anything to write home about. He's going to have a lot of work to do starting from the back of the field, but as we've seen the Team Conti guys starting from the back, working their way to the front, shouldn't be any sort of problem as long as you got the right setup.
Yeah, the right setup is pretty important here. You can do 2 wide, nice and easy, 3 wide if you know what the guy's doing next to you. But these turns, these corners get pretty tight. They're 10 feet less wide, thinner, I should say, I guess, than the straightaways. So they've got to do a little jostling.
Yeah, they should be moving around just a little bit here. I know this is the 2008 version here of this track. So a couple of things are going to be a little bit different, and this is one of the things I was most concerned about as we are taking a look right now at Jesse Priest in the Zero car. Coming a little loose out of 2 here. You see Priest way loose, and this is not good, especially since he has 1 lap to qualify. This is going to be a dismal time here for Jesse Priest. I guarantee you we're going to see him way out of the running here, and I guarantee you not real happy, but still, 31.75, still... That's A-OK. We've got about 20-some-odd drivers here still waiting to put down some times. Mark Sikosi, that should be his lap getting knocked down. 11th for him. Johnny Taylor moving on to the number 3 car, looking to see how he does here for Team Conti. He is still in the process of his warm-up lap here, Stella, and I'm interested to see, what Team Conti can bring to the table here, as we've seen a lot of guys shuffling around for playoff spots, and one of them being definitely for sure was Brandon, which I don't see right now him nailing down a time yet. Brandon Hastings, as he sits now in that 12th spot, knocking Strickland down, but Brandon Hastings is only cleared by 3 points. Stoney Benfield right there with only 9 points over. So right now the hot seat tonight is 11th and 12th. Sakoshi should be well over the spot. So we are still looking 11th through 14th could swap here tonight. If Matthew Wheeler can get a top 5 here tonight, if Stoney ends up in a bad shape, a lot of things can still happen here as we get ready to head into the playoffs, which brings up another deal here, Stella, that we kind of sit back and take a look at. This is the last race here of the regular season. We move on to the playoffs next week, and a lot of guys right now are kind of biting their fingernails off here, seeing that only 4 have made it via a win. Corey Hines with 7 of them, Banks with 1, and Ehrman with 1. Mike Bruno, just by his consistency, has slid into the 4th position. But we're not seeing a whole lot of guys getting a whole lot of wins. This was almost a takeaway by Corey Hines this season.
Yeah, that it was. Yes, this is the round of 10, they call it here, as far as the 10th race. But like you say, starting next week, we'll have the Music City 250, which is going to be at the Nashville Super Speedway, and that will be your playoffs, the first round of 12.
Yeah, last winner here at Atlanta was Dakota Ehrman. Ehrman now sitting 3rd during qualifying here. Stoney sitting 4th. Tyler Merritt rounding out our top 5. But sitting in the front row will be Andrew Payne and Mike Bruno, still waiting for a solid time here out of both these guys. Andrew Payne does have at least a good setup car here, as we're looking at a 30.19 out of Andrew Payne. We got our eyes here on Matt Sisler in the number 66 Ford here, looking to see what he can do for his timing here, and not looking, maybe. That's going to be close. 14th spot for Sisler here. Yeah, a few drivers still have yet to qualify here, Stella, and we'll talk a little bit about it. Any penalties that we may be looking at here tonight?
I'm looking to coordinate, see if I see any of the guys that are here up on the sheet, and I'm not seeing anybody off the top of my head.
All right, Johnny Ham beat Brandon Hastings. Jamie Knopf looks like Brandon Banks, Thomas Stanley, Johnny Taylor, and Daniel Simmons. We are still waiting for these guys to get out there on the track. We'll kind of rally cap here because I don't know. No, I do not see. I don't believe we're going to have a race control here tonight, Stella.
I do not believe so. I know they were kind of looking for somebody to fill in tonight, but I have not seen that they have achieved that.
All righty. Well, we'll definitely keep an eye out there for it, as qualifying will be coming to an end here in just a moment. Don't think Brandon Banks is going to be serving a penalty here. I do see him sitting down pit road, though. I don't know if he might be changing it up here. We've seen in some leagues that they'll actually sit there and burn a little bit of fuel out of that car, and I don't blame him. Trying to run it up a little bit, get a little fuel out of that car from the required amount that they have to start with. Go out there and may be able to lighten that car up by 20 pounds or so, burning a few gallons of fuel off, holding it to the floor. And then hopefully he'll be able to get a top 5 start. But Stella, we talk about if we're able to get up to the front with less fuel, when these guys start with a full tank of fuel, what does that mean for the guy who qualified up front now is a full tank of fuel? He's going to be a lot slower than everybody else, and that's really not what you're going to want to see, is one guy get up toward the front, and then he's going to actually be marching back most of the night.
No kidding. That's kind of self-defeating, I would think. But right now, Bruno being up there in that front row, he finished top 5 the last time we were at Atlanta. You were asking about how his setup is on his car. I would be very surprised if he's made any changes at all.
Yeah, well, definitely seeing he is almost 0.2 of a second off pace from Andrew Payne. I'm hoping maybe just a little extra tape to the front of Andrew Payne was able to change it up there. Right now, about 1 minute left here in qualifying. I don't think Brandon Banks looks like he's not going to be qualifying here, so that may go ahead and do it for us. But we'll take a little look here at our race tonight and see what we've got ready to go for the ATL 250. Brought to you by the NC811.org team. 163, that's how many laps we've got. Stages will be at 40 and 80, 100% fuel limit, and 4 sets of tires down the pit. Of course, no fast repairs with this being an open setup league. You run what you brung, and that's going to be what we're going to do here tonight. Me, of course, Patrick Morrison is your lead producer, and Stella joining alongside me tonight at a 97-degree track temperature, which is going to be fantastic. But Stella, I said everybody getting loose coming out of 2, 10 miles an hour of wind. So I think that's going to be a lot of guys getting pushed around this track, and we're going to pray that they can hold on to it here right before these guys get ready to grid up. This should be a fantastic race. And Stella, seeing that these guys are turning about 30 to 32 seconds per lap, 163 is really going to kind of munch away really quick.
I would assume so. I mean, it's not quite qualifying record, which is 28:07, but they are. I don't wish them to have green flag pit stops.
All right, Barbara Pinion and Jay Walterman already out here in the chat. Barbara, of course, rooting on the faster pastor who will have a top 5 start here tonight. And it looks like we're also rooting on Walty, and we'll see how he does. Because remember, if I'm not mistaken here, Stella, Dylan Walterman is not serving a penalty here tonight, so his qualifying position is where he is going to be tonight. And I guarantee he's pretty happy about that.
You are correct. He is not on that list, so he's done very well.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid here for tonight. In the front row will be Andrew Payne in the 93, moving on through for Team Conti, starting in the number 1 position. Mike Bruno will be starting on the outside. Dakota Ehrman starts 3rd next to Stoney Benfield. He'll be 4th. 5th position will be Tyler Merritt, not too bad in the outside of row number 3. Eric Schaefer in the number 4. Justin Cope, not too bad here with the 59 Ford. He gets a 7th spot start next to Robert Sanders. Dylan Walterman, we talked about him a little bit, sitting 9th next to Alex Tessie. He'll be in the 10th spot, rounding our top 10 with a Chevrolet. All 3 manufacturer makes are in the top 10 here. Dylan Walterman having the only Toyota there, and then we have our mixture of Fords and Chevrolets. Moving on through to row number 6 will be Eddie Rose and Dustin Montgomery, 11th and 12th. Not too bad here by those guys. We'll see if they can continue on through with Mark Sikosi and Matt Sisler sitting right behind them. These guys have been fast, but the thing is, well, I see how these 2 guys are the consistency. They kind of wait these guys out, let them burn their tires off, and you'll see them attack much later in the run. Where Jerry Culver and Jesse Priest, I hate to say, is the exact opposite. This guy will be on the floor as soon as he gets going in that number 0 car. We'll see how he does here as well. Moving on to row number 9 will be Kevin E. Davis and Craig Parks. Parks been doing a great job here so far in the number 82. He has been rocking around, but with Johnny Taylor and Jamie Knopf sitting right behind him, good Lord, that is probably a pair I would not want to even start behind because they are going to be on a roll here for Team Conti. Brandon Banks, we saw he didn't qualify, 21st position for him, and Daniel Simmons will be 22nd. Brandon Hastings on the inside of row number 12 next to Johnny Hanby. So Johnny Hanby, I believe he just joined this league here in the past 24 hours, so we'll see how he does. And then we have Thomas Stanley with Full Send Racing. He's going to be rocking through here in that 25th position. Stella, we've got a fantastic run here tonight, and I can't wait to see what these guys can do.
Yeah, it's we should be seeing that any moment. They're coming around the corner, and I guess the pit lights are off because I'm looking at the green lights ready to go on top.
That we are. Confirm if I do have Robert Sanders as a penalty tonight. I do still see the number 1 Ford sitting in pit. We'll check.
Robert Sanders, yes.
Okay, so Robert Sanders will be taking a checkout here, and that's going to be kind of dismal for him. I believe Thomas Stanley, we'll see how he does, because he does not take the field here tonight. Wow. All right, maybe we have an RC here tonight, but let's go ahead and get this one underway with Andrew Payne taking off here as lap number 1 gets started here with the ATL 250 with the NSR Xfinity Series. Out in front is the 93, Mark Bruno in the 19. It looks like he's going to lose a spot here to the 48 of Dakota Ehrman, looking to repeat his race he had earlier here in the season. Moving on through, keeping on back is it already looks like Stoney is not happy about being caught there on the outside. 59 of Justin Cope down to the bottom. Eric Schaefer sliding underneath, where the 7 of Alex Tessie might try to use a little draft from Stoney here, but Stoney has got to figure out how to rotate to the bottom, and I believe he does. Excellent job here. Stoney unfortunately losing a couple of spots here already on the race, and check who is pinched in the middle. If I'm not mistaken, Dylan Walterman in the 26 kind of caught with everybody in front of him. Eric Schaefer, Alex Tessie to his outside, and we are still too wide here as long as we get all the way back to Matt Sisler. Sisler trying to hold on to it here, and Stella definitely action-packed so far here as we complete lap number 2.
It is. These guys are already pretending like this is a place to do a lot of draft pushing and shoving.
Yeah, rotating our eyes up front to Dustin Montgomery in the number 12 here. 12 looking to see if he can get a slot in. Eddie Rose will tuck in behind him, but still going at is Dylan Walterman. I don't know if Dylan is going to be wanting to rotate toward the top to help save tires. It's hard to hold on to these turns starting low and ending low. It's going to definitely put a lot of stress on those outside tires. Walterman still hanging toward the inside, might tuck in behind the 12 here in just a moment, but decides not to. Hangs up toward the, leans up to the top a little bit, drops to the bottom. Now he's down below the paint. Right now, Dylan Walterman, he's going to get a little bit shaky here, and I think he's going to be under fire by Eddie Rose next.
Yeah, I do believe so. We watched Priest hit that paint at the bottom. This apron is not in any way, shape, or form level with the banking, so it can do nasty things to your car.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on Priest as he's moved up 3 positions so far from 16th to 13th. Not too bad. Right now, biggest mover here of the race is Dustin Montgomery. He has picked up at least 4 positions. I know Brandon Hastings picking up 6 and Brandon Banks up 5, but they are well outside of the top 15. They've got a lot of work here to go. Let's see how well this is going to work out for him as Alex Tessie looks to see as the 46 has got a good run on him as Eddie Rose picking up the pace here. Right now, fastest through 3 and 4 with a 15:61 last lap, and he is still blazing speed out there. So moving on through, Andrew Payne still holding on to the lead here. Ehrman's off by about a quarter of a second, and then Bruno, he's fallen off by a second already off pace.
Yeah, some debris on the track there as we had a blinker. Did he come in and suffer any damage, or did he, hit anybody else?
And which driver would this be?
Number 4.
Do not see anything happening there. Number 4 of Eric Schaefer. No, I'm not seeing any damage or hearing anything over race control of what's going on out there.
Okay, I saw debris flying everywhere just as he was coming in, coming out. So I was making sure he didn't suffer.
All right, as Eric Schaefer, if he does end up blinking out there, Stella definitely kind of hiccups and has some trouble here. But let's keep our eye on Justin Cope. The 59.4 down on the bottom, passing Mike Bruno. Bruno looks like he's got the car in the wrong gear here as he's actually rolling backwards in the field. Had a second place start. He's going to be trying to hold on to a top 5 here as Justin Cope makes a bid for 4th. Down on the bottom, Cope rotates up to the top, and this is where everybody gets loose coming out of 2. Boy, Cope still holding the fender on him here. It doesn't look like he's going to get him here as we take a ride along with Justin Cope. Sitting right behind the 19, having to let off the gas just a little bit there to keep making contact with Mike Bruno's Chevrolet in front of him. Cope into the wall. Cope looks like he's going to definitely hang out here. Hopefully he hasn't suffered any damage as he rotates up toward the top. Cope now sits in 5th. Justin Montgomery taking a shot at him here, and a lot of movement in the back of the field where we see right where Stoney is. Stoney dropping out of the top 5, now sitting 7th. So the faster passer may have to find a little different adjustment in pit as this track heats up. Definitely a lot of changes need to be made to these race cars as they keep on going. But Stella, look at how they fan coming across the start-finish line, heading into turn number 1 out of the second dogleg.
Yeah, I think, like I was saying, the width allows a lot more movement on those straightaways, and they are taking advantage of that.
Yeah, Payne not doing too bad as he's definitely pulling away from the field. Ehrman has got him held on You were telling a little bit that Ehrman may not want to change any setup that he has. I can guarantee that he's got to be thinking about a different one, though, as Andrew Payne is actually coming out here and owning the field. So we'll see if Andrew Payne can hold on for as long as he can. But we are hauling butt right now here to stage break at lap number 40. Payne already led all 11 laps here so far as he races down the backstretch. We're going to actually shift back here to Craig Parks. I want to see how Craig is doing there on the outside as Sisler slides underneath. So the 66 machine, not too bad of Sisler as he moves at least up one position where he was. Craig Parks has been on a solid roll up 4, but Hastings here tonight, Brandon Hastings that is, the 91 Chevrolet. Remember I said he was just barely above the cutoff line. He needs a solid finish here tonight. Brandon Hastings gaining 8 positions on the night. Really surprising not seeing him qualify, but he is going to be looking to work his way back up to the front, and if he can get a top 5 finish tonight, he can pretty much solidify himself in the playoffs.
Yeah, that would definitely help between bonus points and placement. He should be golden.
Lap 13 underway here at the ATL 250. Appreciate you guys joining us here at Simtrax Broadcast. I know we are shuffling up a little bit of our leagues out there. A couple mutual decisions to part ways, but we are got definitely other leagues picking up and looking to take us on. So keep an eye out there for SimtraxBroadcasting.com and on our Facebook page as well, as we post updates all the time of what we've got going on. But right now, something going on is Alex Tessie into the wall. Big time damage on the right side. Looks like he hammers into the wall there on turn 3 and 4, losing a handful of positions here. Now down 3 from his original start position, and now he's going to be seeing if he can work his way back. Stella, these Xfinity cars, when they've got damage on the right side, aerodynamics is crucial, especially with how wide these cars are, and that one thing you don't want to do is contact the wall or another driver out here.
So no rubbing is racing?
Well, you can, a little bumping and rubbing, but a little scraping and diving here. Eric Schaefer trying to hold on to it here. If he can keep his connection right now, I think he'd be able to hold on to 7th. But right now, it looks like he's trying to put Stoney a little higher than he wants to be, and there it goes. Stoney gets way high into the turn here, and now it looks like Eric Schaefer may have pushed him up there. No contact, though. But Schaefer going ahead and getting on around him there, and now Stoney is going to be chasing the number 4 Chevrolet of Eric Schaefer. So far, so good here. Out of everybody out there on the track, as we have gone 15 laps cautionless here, with a lot of guys moving, a lot of guys getting loose here, and it's interesting to see kind of the different angles these guys are taking and who's going fast at the beginning and who's kind of sitting back and waiting this one out.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's Bruno's approach here, being 5th after starting on the not the pole, but the front row. But he's fighting off everybody else quite successfully to maintain that top 5.
Yeah, Stoney Benfield looking at it here as he now ends up high again. And right now, Eddie Rose in the 46 Chevrolet slides under him next. So right now, Stoney on the roll back here in the NC811.org car, and we're trying to see what it's going to take to get Stoney back on the track. Now, I've got to admit, when I race here, I try to set that left tire right on that inner seam you see a little lower than him, but that seems to be a little more aggressive. A lot of guys are either right above that or rubbing down close to the paint. Fortunately, being an open setup league, they can adjust these cars to exactly the way they want them to ride. But the key is, what is the trade-off here, Stella? Do I ride super low and wear out the right side tires? Do I ride a little bit higher and then wear out a rear tire? It's going to be kind of, you're going to see guys who ride high, then go low, or go low and then ride high later in the race. So I'm wondering if Stoney's kind of setting it back here a little bit, being a little more conservative, and then he's going to try to re-attack. But Jesse Priest looks like he's going to be the next one to take over, as Priest trying to see if he can get on around Brandon Hastings we talked about earlier. There he is in the 91. Looks like he's up here and finally getting in the top 10. 23rd position is where Brandon Hastings started, and we are starting lap 19 here, and he is still churning on through as he's looking for spot number 14 as he gets past Stoney here on the high side.
Yeah, that's some pretty good movement. If you get points for hard charging, he's in the running.
Yeah, right now we are taking a look here as we move up to Eddie Rose and Justin Cope. These two have been fighting it out there for a couple of laps. They squeeze out and figure out how to calm that one down. Hastings got past Stoney, and it looks like Schaefer's in there somewhere. There he is. Schaefer having a little bit of a blinking issue. We'll definitely check. I wouldn't say for certain here, Stella, but I don't know if Thomas Stanley may be having a peek up there as race control here tonight. I see him down there with Full Send Racing, and I know he's probably rooting on his teammates, but I do not see him going to be taking the wheel here tonight as he is starting way off. If he were to come on 20 laps down, that would not be good for Thomas Stanley, although I do see him out there in the chat rooting on Tyler and Dylan. So we'll see if he is available, if he is our race control. That there's somebody put an eyeball out there for right now. Eric Schaefer, who's sitting 6th out there on the track, definitely want to make sure he stays in connection. Last thing you want to do is be having a great race, probably one of the best races of your season. Got a guy blinking out there, so complaints may be rising here as they try to figure out how to get it going. Stella, we are seeing guys slipping and sliding all over the track here, and Dylan Walterman, I've got to say, kind of hanging our head here that the guy here in the 26 Toyota, he's fallen back to the 22nd position here.
Yeah, that's not the direction you want to go.
No, it is not. As we try to get a little drone footage out there, I don't see any damage that is obvious here to our eyes. If there's anything going on with his car, no side swiping damage, but he is loose. Yeah, did you hear him have to completely let out there?
Wow. No, I just saw his tail end fishing around there.
Yeah, he's fighting this car bad. So we're going to see how it goes there. All righty. Thomas Stanley says, yes, he is RC here tonight. Thank you, Thomas Stanley, for being our eye in the sky out there on the track. I'm sure everybody else appreciates you just as much as we do. All right, let's see if we can fight back here to the front with Mark Sikosi. Sikosi looks like he got it around Craig Parks, and now Parks is falling off pace. Now, Stella, remember what I said about guys hanging off a little bit and letting them burn their tires up? They're going for it here, so I'm wondering if there's something going on where now we're starting to see the fall off and the guys who've been saving the tires are getting ready to start picking up pace.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Personally, I like to see movement in a race versus ants on a trail. So that works for me.
Yeah, not much of a fan of stagnant racing, so we'll keep on rolling through here as I believe we're checking up on Johnny Taylor, who's up 7. And right now the 7 is sitting up top where Alex Tessie is. Tessie trying to have that over rotation. Look at this. Fantastic turn exit as he pulls on through. He's going to be able to retain the 10th position, but Jesse Priest getting the low line on the dog leg, and now they are both going to fall. Excellent turn by Alex Tessie there, and now Johnny Taylor is going to hang high side as well. Taylor, a little loose. Yeah, goes up there and kind of gives a wink to the wall as he almost thought about gradient there. And now Johnny Taylor back down to the bottom. Here it comes. So now we are taking a look right now at Alex Tessie and Johnny Taylor battling for the 10th position here as they fight on through. No can do for Alex Tessie. Keeping Johnny Taylor off now. He's on him like white on rice. Here we go. Back down to the bottom here. Turn 1 and 2. The 3 having a good turn entry, but can't pull through on this turn exit here. So these guys are still going at it, Stella, and I'm wondering who's going to get the upper hand at the end of this battle.
I don't know. After that tag on the right, and you said he's got to worry about aerodynamics, I'm kind of assuming Taylor's got the edge.
I'm hoping he's definitely kind of narrowed down that right side, and maybe that'll be something he can square away, and it's just cosmetic. But we are looking at Tessie still trying to hold on to it here. Once again, good turn entry by Johnny Taylor here, and now Tessie, watch the turn exit as he pulls on through. Excellent turn here, and once again, the Valvoline machine continuing to roll on through as he gets in front of that Team Conti driver of Johnny Taylor.
Wow, they are definitely going back and forth. I love it.
Yeah, right now, they are not the only ones. Leading this charge is actually Eric Schaefer. Tyler Merida, the guys behind him, looks like Brandon Hastings. 16 positions up, sitting 7th, Eddie Rose and Justin Cope. They're out there toying around with a couple of different positions that they're aiming for and unable to get any more. You see a couple of guys shuffling around. And once again, the 59 of Justin Cope looks like he might gonna give a nudge here to the 46. Yeah. Gets that right front fender right underneath the quarter panel of the 46, Eddie Rose. Rose going to have to hold on to it here. Let's take a ride along with Eddie Rose as he takes a look out that driver's net. at the car underneath of him here.
Well, if he can look out of that driver's net past that neck brace, he's doing better than I would.
Yeah, Rose staying high, Cope dropping down to the bottom. Tessie, now who had been riding up top most of the time, Johnny Taylor is going to take the high side. And it looks like, I believe, yes, it's going to be true, that Johnny Taylor has passed Alex Tessie, as Tessie has been trying to switch it up here just a little bit. And I'm wondering if he didn't have that car set up for high side running.
Well, if it was set up for high side running, he's been doing darn good on the low side.
Yeah, right now we are taking a look here with Eddie Rose, taking a look back. I believe we've also got a battle up toward the front with Hastings and Merritt. Tyler Merritt, who is sitting in the 38 car, looks like he checks out high side and allows Brandon Hastings to get by, allowing for a 17 position gain here just in stage number 1. Hastings flying on through here. I've got to admit, this guy's doing a heck of a job. And right now I'm trying to, there's Schaefer. Schaefer blinking out a little bit. I think Hastings trying to chase him down wherever he is. But Johnny Taylor up 10 here tonight, sitting 9th, and Alex Tessie under fire here by Justin Cope.
Yeah, now him leading that pack, does that make the pack a little hesitant to go around him? Even if they could?
Schaefer leading the pack?
Yeah.
Yes, well, you definitely want to back it up a little bit, because last thing you want to do is get caught up with a guy who's blinking, and then he's there, he's not there, and then you kind of get caught up and kind of bump into the back of him there. So hopefully we don't see Eric Schaefer. Hopefully his internet, 1, is able to clean up, and 2, he doesn't have a packet loss here, because right now he's running a fantastic race tonight.
Yeah.
Breaking into the top 5, and Schaefer's still trying to hold on to it, though. But right now, we've got our eyes on that number 4 Chevrolet, as it looks like Brandon Hastings is getting ready to make a move here. Solid run. Looks like the nose of that car is actually a little bit lower, so I'm wondering if any kind of ride height adjustment was made by Brandon Hastings here, which may be giving him a little bit extra the leg up here, as it looks like, ooh, Schaefer, good job. Looks like the spotter got paid today. Hastings slides around Eric Schaefer. Schaefer not interested in staying low and holding low, as Brandon Hastings breaks into the top 5. And now all 6 of the top 10 drivers, the top 6 of the top 10 drivers are all Chevrolets. And where Tyler Merritt, he's the only Ford hanging out there, and the rest we continue on through. Let's rotate back to where Daniel Simmons in a Toyota is trying to get a hold of Johnny Taylor. He's got Alex Tessie behind him. Uh-oh.
Oh.
There we go. Tessie looks like he said, all right, Schaefer, I'll borrow your internet here for a little bit. And that's what we're going to do. Little drop off there, but that's A-OK. The 06 here of Daniel Simmons down to the bottom, and now Johnny Taylor. Taylor about to go 3 wide here if the 46 of Eddie Rose thinks about passing. They decide best not to. They'll hold it off for a couple laps or so, as Eddie Rose tucks in behind the 38 of Tyler Merritt, who's right now on the roll backwards.
Yeah, that was getting pretty squeezy there, and I like it, but maybe they're going to look at just hanging out for 5 laps and getting a refresh start.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say 5 more laps here before we end the stage. And right now, a couple of guys are thinking, I would like to have a solid run into pit road before we end up into traffic. Johnny Taylor looking to take a shot underneath. He gets around Daniel Simmons, and now he's trying to take on Eddie Rose. Tessie trying to get back into the top 10 here as that Valvoline machine drops to the bottom yet again. But the 06 of Daniel Simmons, fantastic line here. We'll see how the 28 of Jamie Knopf takes a look. Knopf down to the bottom. Here he comes, diving across, second dog leg, rides it toward the top. Tessie gets close to the wall, and Knopf looks like he's going to clear. But where is he going to re-enter coming into turn 2? 06 rotating down of Daniel Simmons, and now Knopf is going to lose that position to Tessie as he just had it through that turn.
Wow, that was an unusual dynamic of watching them go up, down, and forward and back all at the same time there.
Yeah, taking low and then having to stay low as he was unable to rotate toward the top. He may have had to let off the gas a little bit to avoid putting somebody into the wall. Johnny Taylor taking a look here once again to see if he can get past Eddie Rose here. Rose trying to hold on to it. And right now they are side by side heading down the backstretch as we get a closer view of Johnny Taylor. Watch that 06, though, although he is taking a peek there from Team Conti. Last thing you want to do is kind of wipe each other out there, so they may kind of sit back a little bit, let Daniel Simmons kind of ride it out here, but let's see if we can rotate a little farther forward. There we go. Good shot here by Johnny Taylor as he's making the pass, going through the turn, and I believe he's going to get, nope, 46 of Eddie Rose is going to be able to pull through on this one. Watch this turn exit as you see how Atlanta treats these cars. Very, very, a lot more different than what we've seen at the super speedway that this track became.
Yeah, when they redid the track later on, I think 2021, putting that another 4 degrees on that turn made it a whole different ball of wax.
That they did. Stella, we've got 2 more laps before the stage caution comes out. This one has been action-packed since lap number 1. Excellent job so far as we've seen a lot of guys shuffling around here. Stoney down to 16th, losing 12. Walterman down 13 to 22nd. And Robert Sanders would be definitely happy to get back onto the lead lap and come up here and battle with these guys. But Brandon Hastings up 18. Johnny Taylor, he's up 10 at the moment. And Simmons is up 12. Jamie Knopf. So right now, Team Conti kind of clutching together here and working their way here toward the front. So not too bad as they've got 1 lap left to go. This time by Andrew Payne leading all the laps and has yet to be under fire. Can he continue this on through as Andrew Payne, driver for Team Conti, out in the front? So we may have another guy locking himself into the playoffs here. But Stella, I may have to go back to the rule book and see if Andrew Payne needed to participate in enough races to get out there. So that is going to square us away here as race control getting ready to throw the caution out here in just a moment as soon as the top 10 cars make it by. Daniel Simmons crosses the line. Caution is out.
There you go. There you go.
Getting excited?
I think you may have met your quota of words for the whole race.
Oh,
in that
yeah.
First stage.
We definitely made it on that one. These guys are definitely doing a great race. I know super speedway racing gets pretty exciting as well. Guys side by side. You get tracks like Kansas or like Watkins Glen sometimes. Those guys get pretty spread apart. But Atlanta used to be really one of the fastest 1.5 mile tracks out here. These guys would top kind of around that Gen 4 stage. These guys get almost around 200 miles an hour. But they've since then, they've changed the cars up a little bit. They're getting a little safer, a little slower, which I know some people, like, kind of weeping, would like to see these guys going faster. That is for sure. Definitely, the more out of control these guys get, the more you see how much the driver has to tune and handle these cars. But regardless, still excellent job here. Andrew Payne doesn't seem to have any problems here so far. Pace car leaving on through. If you were thinking about making a pit strategy call, notice how everybody is kind of slacked off here a little bit. They've got a ways to go to get back on through. Wow.
Who chose not to come in?
I believe that should be Robert Sanders, who didn't come in. I believe Jerry Culver. Jerry Culver was another driver who decided not to come in.
Those 2 gentlemen were both 1 lap down. I was curious whether they're going to try to make it up or whether, because theoretically Culver should be the one that gets lucky dog.
Yes.
Or if they're just going to try to stay out.
Yeah, it looks like Culver got pushed around. His lucky dog is happening now. Everybody else looking to race off pit road here. Trying to see if they can squeeze on through. Payne gets out. Schaefer moves up a couple positions to 3rd. Mike Bruno sits 2nd. Brandon Hastings to 4th. Ehrman falls down to 5th.
And Montgomery must have had a dismal pit lane or pit road event.
Yeah, right now I'm not showing anything out there for Montgomery.
Yeah, because he was higher than 6th when we went in.
All right. We'll keep an eye on Dustin Montgomery, see if anything happened. Hopefully my stats over here are saying it is correct, or if it's incorrect, what happened here. I don't know if what happened to Montgomery here.
Maybe The other guys were quicker.
Yeah, we'll
He
see if we
wasn't
can
bad.
see.
The other guys were really good.
See if we can see what happened here with Montgomery. Yeah, I'm showing he had a 14:67 pit stall time. See how spread apart they are, so I know we definitely got in late. Boy, he's lucky because he almost got out of the pit box here.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, 4 tires and fuel from Montgomery. So in and out of the pits, he was 14:67 in the box, 45 out. So that's pretty average.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty, pace truck lights are still on. We should be going double file this time by. Unfortunately, Robert Sanders looks like he is still going to be a lap down here. Sisler and Culver actually working their way back down pit. Yeah, interesting stop here for Sisler rejoining down pit road. Culver, he already finished up 46 seconds in the box. And back out he goes.
I wonder if that's how he got a lap down in the first place, because he did not start a lap down as Sanders did. Maybe he had some damage and had to fix it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, well, Detroit Lions 66 Ford is going to have to play catch-up now as these guys are stacking double wide here. Andrew Payne and Mike Bruno going to be side-by-side once again like they were at the beginning of the race. Eric Schaefer sitting third. Brandon Hastings is fourth. Dakota Ehrman and Dustin Montgomery sitting fifth and sixth. Tyler Merritt will be our seventh-place starter next to Eddie Rose. And I believe Johnny Taylor needs to play catch-up there a little bit as Jamie Knopf will be starting, I believe, in the 10th spot. We'll see if Jamie Knopf or Daniel Simmons of those two Toyotas kind of duke it out there. Dylan Walterman in his Toyota will be way in the back. Hopefully he's been able to make an adjustment to get that thing squared away. But we are getting ready to get back under green flag to start lap number 46. The next time we stop is 80. So these guys, plenty of fuel, 4 tires. Let's get back underway as they dive into turn number 1. Andrew Payne getting away here once again as they squeak by. Schaefer slides up into second. Bruno now down to third. And that means Hastings is going to try to take on Dustin Montgomery here as they head into turn number 3. Definitely excellent shot here down on the bottom as we get through the backstretch. And now Brandon Hastings is on the bottom. Dustin Montgomery looks like he's losing some ground. The tires are sticking here so far, but I definitely see a couple guys wiggling in the back, and I think Jesse Priest may have been one of them. Definitely holding on to it here, Stella. Right now we see the number 12 of Dustin Montgomery's Chevrolet in the Liquid Molly car trying to hold on to it here, but Dakota Ehrman, one of his teammates, is sticking right behind him and looks like he's not going to let him by. Continuing on through, look how all three of them, the Liquid Molly team is blocking out Team Conti from continuing on through as they are almost trying to send themselves 3 wide going through 3 and 4.
Love it. I love it. Go.
Yeah, keeping the race going here. Hastings losing some positions, and now the 38 of Tyler Merritt able to take a shot. It looked like he had a bad turn entry there as he slings toward the top. Can he hold on to it on the turn exit? Yes, he can as they shoot on through. Fantastic race here so far as everybody just about single files, but the battle up here between 5th and 8th is not slowing down. Tyler Merritt now up to 6th. Hastings drops back down to 7th. And now he meets back up with Johnny Taylor and Daniel Simmons, and we'll see if Team Conti can whip something up here and fight their way back to the farther into the front of this field.
Yeah, Schaefer's also first one to even put any kind of sights on Payne, but he seems to be losing a 10th every lap.
Yeah, right now, last lap was actually faster by Eric Schaefer, 31:28, as Andrew Payne was a 31:36. So we'll see if Schaefer can continue this charge. Remember, Payne was under fire there by a little bit by Bruno, was able to squeak away. But I think Payne, actually qualifying out front here for Team Conti. The guys who are fighting through the field, Brandon Hastings, Johnny Taylor, Daniel Simmons, Jamie Knopf, when these guys are able to fight their way toward the front, how are they going to hang out? How are they going to hold up with the rest of these guys? And can Andrew Payne fend them off? We'll have to see, because he had a top dog qualifying time, but can he have a top dog finishing run here at Atlanta? Dustin Montgomery is sitting third still. Dakota Ehrman is up to fourth. Bruno fifth. Tyler Merritt is sixth. And Estelle, look, actually, Brandon Hastings is actually marching back here. I don't know if we're going to wait till a little bit later here in this run and see Hastings fight back into this one.
Yeah, I'm hoping it wasn't an adjustment during his pit stop, and it was an ill-advised one.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely have to see. Right now, I don't see Ottinger down there for them, so I believe they're having to make the adjustments by themselves here. The no crew chief to sit there and square that one away. Bruno is still hanging out. Right now, I think Schaefer dropping off here. Ehrman and Montgomery have gotten around him here. And Merritt is dropped. He's gotten a fourth, and Schaefer now shuffling back. Yeah, right now we were saying Schaefer was getting close. Now, right now, Schaefer's dropping off by almost half a second a lap.
Heavens. Yeah, I'm not sure what, but they're definitely playing musical cars out there right now.
Yeah, well, they've got to figure it out. Right now, Eric Schaefer's got to get that car squared away. I definitely guarantee you he's not happy with whatever is happening to his car. He is falling off big time here, and he's trying to battle back, but it's just not happening the way he hoped. Yeah, right now Eric Schaefer is trying to have some trouble here.
I'm watching Taylor bouncing off the wall. It sucked him in and held on like a fish on the line there for a bit. He's going to have some damage.
Yeah, in less than a tenth, Eric Schaefer was passed by both Dustin Montgomery and Dakota Ehrman. So they must have gone in tandem to sling past him there. Johnny Taylor up toward the top here as he saw how the race there with Tessie went, and that didn't go. Right now, scooting on through. Here comes Johnny Taylor. Does he drop to the bottom here, the 19? I would probably say no, but a good block. Wow, Jamie Knopf, full send in the Toyota, gets shut down by his own Team Conti member here. And now it looks like Johnny Taylor going to hold on to that spot. But, man, I'm wondering if he saw in that rear view him coming on hot and decide, you know what, buddy, let's see if those brakes work out for you.
Oh, well, he's lucky they didn't use the chrome horn.
Yeah, well, it definitely is. They bounce around. Taking a look off the back of Johnny Taylor's Chevrolet here as the rest of the field definitely kind of squeezing it out here. Lap 55 underway, moving on to 56 here in just a moment. As we take a look back from Johnny Taylor, Mike Bruno's to his outside, and we see already Eric Schaefer and Jamie Knopf going at it. And we get, once again, Stella, we got battles all over the track here, and it's hard to find just one single spot to even hang out.
Well, don't. Hang out everywhere.
Now we're shuffling through. I do have my eyes here on Johnny Taylor. This would be the battle for fifth spot. With good angles here so far. Right now I'm interested to see what all these guys have kind of worked up and figured out with the car to figure out how they're going to battle amongst each other from the time they come out of pit to right now. So do they have enough to kind of shuffle things up? Right now, Montgomery was thinking about getting close up to Andrew Payne, who's hanging out up front here. And right now, Montgomery and Ehrman may have Andrew Payne's number here as that got real close. Right now, these two are still going to go at it. Let's rotate back to Bruno again. Whoa, Bruno, excellent move there to pass Tyler Merritt. Merritt now rotates to the top, Johnny Taylor, and Bruno rotate to the bottom. And Bruno, the only one to get past Tyler Merritt here, as Merritt looks like he had a late turn entry and fought that car off the wall all the way through 3 and 4.
Yeah, that was a good move, and he lost one, but he kept the other two from coming behind him.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see how Johnny Taylor does. Right now, Brandon Hastings looks like he's coming alive again. Right now, man, that right front fender. Right now, Johnny Taylor would love to drop to the bottom, but Hastings is going to hold Taylor up toward the top. 38 machine has got to make a choice here as Johnny Taylor's going to have some speed on the turn exit. That's going to do it. Let's see if Hastings gives him a shove. He does. Heading across the start-finish line right now, it still shows Merritt in front of Johnny Taylor. And now Taylor hangs toward the top. Jamie Knopf is going to look to be getting a little bit closer, but we don't want to check out Daniel Simmons here. Simmons holding on and trying to figure out where he fits into this mix. Looks like Taylor able to get out of danger as Merritt squeezes out. Merritt stays out in front, and I'm looking for the 28 of Jamie Knopf. There he is toward the top. Can't miss that color as he hangs out on the top seam, and he's going to push on through. But the dog legs help the lower line, and that's going to be what you're going to see here as the 38 of Merritt decides to rotate toward the top, and Hastings going around.
Oh, wow, that was a hard one. That was a wicked hit. I watched him. He was bouncing back and forth, giving Bruno a little bit of I think it was Bruno, giving a little bit of a push there. The guy in front of him. The next thing you know, smack.
Brandon
Who did
Hastings
he take with him?
with a massive right front amount of damage here, and I believe he had to tow to pit road.
Oof. But he didn't take anybody with him?
Well, there may be a couple of guys who got caught up in that one. We'll definitely take a poke through the field. And we'll take a look back at this caution here. Yeah, Brandon Hastings is our guy here.
Tap, tap.
I don't know if Daniel Simmons got caught up in this one. Here comes to the wall.
Oh. Okay, yep. He had a little bit of help.
Wow, we'll see if we talk about these guys in the infield car care center. Remember this for playoff spot? This may take it out of Brandon Hastings' hands.
Yes, it might.
He's only 3 above cutoff line here. And that is exactly what we just saw.
The 06?
Yes, the 06 of Daniel Simmons.
Okay. Man.
Yeah, here they come into the turn. Looks like Simmons may have gotten loose coming off that wall. I know some people kind of say this might be a little bit of net code, but I think that was pretty close.
Yeah. Look at the avoidance of these two. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Schaefer and Rose just skirted out of that one.
Wow.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that was a heck of a hit, especially by
he did tow.
By Brandon Hastings here. We'll take a ride along with Hastings to see kind of what it looks like from his angle here.
Thought he'd be giving them a little bit of sign language there, windshield to windshield. Oh dear.
This is Simmons' car. Looked like he kicked out on it.
Yeah, but he did hold it nice and straight, so he didn't take, 3 more people behind him with.
Yep. Wow. Well, Brandon Hastings has taken it back to the garage. That's going to do it for him. I don't know if Daniel Simmons is going to try to repair that vehicle. We'll see if anybody ends up in the infield car care center here, and we'll kind of keep an eye out as the pace truck lights are still on.
Okay. It does look like Sanders has decided to take it back to the garage, too, for this evening.
Yeah, which is a real bummer here, Stella, because this would be the caution he needed to get back on the lead lap.
Sure would.
Yeah. Boy, that's a bummer. All right, well, hey, Stella, how often do we see cautions in this league?
Definitely not last week. It was green all the way.
Yeah.
So do you think we could tell him about NC 811?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you want to do it? You want me to do it?
You got her.
I got it. Excellent. All right. That NC 811 stands for North Carolina 811. It provides a fast and easy communication link between you and your local utility providers. Give them the information before you dig, and they will transmit that information to the utilities, and the utilities will send out those locators with those cool little spray cans that work upside down, and the flags to mark your publicly managed underground lines. And they will do it all for free. So contact 811 or 1-800-632-4949 at least 3 working days before you plan on digging. So make sure to call 811 and avoid 911.
There you go. I like that catch. Alrighty, Stella. We are back now, double file, short of Daniel Simmons and Brandon Hastings here. I hate seeing that for Hastings. He was on a roll. What a fantastic race for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, Simmons down and out here. And I don't even see where he's going to be able to make it to the infield car care center here. So we'll see if Daniel Simmons has a moment. Pace truck is heading on off as we get ready to get back underway here. Back under green. Away we go. And Alex Tessie way loose. He's still trying to hold on to it here. Turned around. There goes Sisler.
Oh, no.
Somebody missed a shift.
Somebody missed breakfast.
Oh, my gosh. Look at the amount of damage to the back of Sisler's car. And they're still wrecking up front.
No.
Yeah, I think Dylan Walterman ended up getting caught. He got turned around as well.
Wow.
All right, first things first is we got to figure out what happened to Tessie here, starting this one.
Yeah, he was
Something wasn't
right. Off the bat.
His car was insanely loose starting at the green flag. Let's see if we can find a better angle here. I'm not quite sure what we're looking at.
Had they even made it past the start-finish line yet?
All right, let's see if we can break this apart here. This is behind the pace car. I want to see what happens to Tessie here in the 7. So that'll be our guy. Take off. Yeah, his car breaks loose. Like he sidesteps it here. Gets caught up. Sisler gets hooked. Oh, and then Sikosi up the track.
Hook 2 out there.
Oh, and yes. Walterman was just trying to get underneath.
Yep. No avoiding that. My good. And the fella who kind of started it all is still rolling. Forward, fast and furious.
Yeah. See if we can find Dylan Walterman here. I want to see if we can ride along with him.
I'm free. Oh.
Wow.
And a reminder to your viewers, this is a no fast repair league. So you break it, you bought it.
Yeah, I want to see what happens to Sikosi here and why his car snapped to the side. Oh, he got nicked.
Right there.
Oh, he got nicked. No.
Oh, yeah. And took out 2 on the way. Oh.
Wow.
My. Alrighty then.
Yeah, we were talking about how Tessie was doing there, and that didn't work out well. All right, let's take one more look. I want to see Alex Tessie here and see what gets this going. Yeah, let me rotate it back here. I want to see where it is during the green flag. We'll kind of keep an eye on the RPM gauge. If you see it spike off as normal, he spins. There.
Oh.
That was wheel spin, and that's what he's fighting.
Okay. Ah. No.
Yep. And then everybody bunched up. Wow. Alrighty. Well, Tessie working his way down pit road. Looks like this might be for his 3rd time here tonight. Guys are getting ready to double file here. Should be next time by. Dustin Montgomery has fought himself up into the 2nd position. Ehrman sitting 3rd. Bruno is 4th.
Now, would there be any reason why you would or would not come down for a quick splash?
Some guys have considered it. Right now, Tessie Sisler, Kenny Davis in the 97. he suffered a good amount of damage as well.
Did. In that secondary kerfuffle.
Yeah. Well, I would figure guys wouldn't need to pit. Remember, we made it on a 1 tank of fuel for the 40 laps that they were out there to begin with. This wouldn't be...
Agreed.
I would probably say in the final stage, if you're kind of hanging out in the back 15, absolutely. Quick splash of fuel, see if you can shuffle something up and change something to get, hopefully go your way. Oh, looks like we're trying to straighten the lines up here a little bit. Yeah, just squeezing out. Pit road looks like just in time. Kenny Davis trying to squeeze out of there. You believe he's already a lap down.
And Tessier's coming out too.
Yeah, he was able to get out of there, and it looks like his car is not in bad shape.
And not a lap down.
Yeah, he did come down right a couple times. 28.73 seconds for the Valvoline car. Started top 10 here tonight. He's
going to have a little bit of makeup to do now.
Yeah. Now, if he can get that car back together, I got to say, some of the other guys have been kind of hammering around out there. It's kind of a bummer.
But I gotta make one note though. Take a look at who's in 10th. Mr. Stoney Benfield.
That he is.
Worked
We'll be
his
starting
way
next
back
to
up.
we'll be starting around the Mark Sikosi area, and you see Sikosi's got some damage to the right rear of his vehicle there as we're sitting on Justin Cope's car looking forward.
Yes, he does.
All right, let's get this one back underway here. All right, let's go ahead and get lap 70 underway as we got a couple of quick cautions side by side there as we get one right after the other. Liquid Molly team, check this out. Montgomery, Ehrman, and Bruno going for it here, sitting second, third, and fourth. Schaefer getting control of that blink in there. Johnny Taylor sits in sixth. Brandon Banks up 14, sitting in seventh, and we've already got some... Jesse Priest, where are you? All right, well, looks like Stoney better be careful out there. The faster pastor is going to be looking to see if he can turn his luck around here and fight his way back to the front. Already, we are seeing some shuffling out here on the track. Definitely where guys are trying to hold on to it here. Stella, we are already seeing some trouble here in the back. Justin Cope sending it 3 wide here, heading into 3.
Yes.
Right now, Sikosi caught in the middle here. Is the 38 machine definitely pushing on through. Johnny Hanby, welcome here to the NSR Xfinity Series. You're about to find out how these guys race. The Buc-ee's machine is definitely under fire here as these guys are trying to floss on around him. I don't know if Hanby definitely had some tire heat cycling here, and that caused him to shuffle on back, but he is up at least 9 here on the night. But check who's coming back to life. Dylan Walterman in the number, believe that, yep, that's the 26 Toyota out there. Up to 15th, looking to take on 14th if he can get past Cope. Good move there, down toward the bottom. Already looked like Dylan Walterman did come down. He may have taken tires here, so this is going to throw him on through. 19-second pit stop for Walterman, and he is back out on the track. Let's see if we can keep it going here. Out there are T.S. Ritchie saying, go faster, Pastor, and he is out there rolling on through. Faster Pastor is now sitting in 11th, but that looks pretty solid here. Alex Tessie picking up the pace once again. Looks like he's got control of his race car this time. And he is churning on through, putting Craig Parks behind him now. And let's rotate up toward the front where Eddie Rose is still trying to chase down Johnny Taylor. And Stella, right now, Andrew Payne is actually kind of squirting out and getting away. But Mike Bruno, these guys are kind of just shuffling it up here, just trying to see if they can run him down.
Yeah, I just hope that them shuffling amongst themselves doesn't make that gap any bigger between, that group bunching and Payne.
Yeah, about 7 laps left to go for these guys to kind of run it down here with Eric Schaefer blinking down there on the bottom. Right now, Eddie Rose is just, okay, I'm going to pray you're still there. As we move on back, let's see how Tyler Merritt's doing as Merritt is under fire by Dylan Walterman. And Walterman definitely enjoying those fresh tires down on the bottom. Check that, moving from the back all the way to the front. Yes. Oh, Merritt in the wall. Again. Yeah, Merritt's crushing the wall there. Brandon Banks will be next on his list. So far, he's flipping the script here, picking up the pace. Not too bad. The 26 Toyota shooting on by. Brandon Banks, excuse me, here we go.
Wow. I mean, just zipped right there.
No.
He had that one dialed in.
Yeah, well, we're going to hope he has enough tires to make it through the remainder here of this race as Walterman moving on up, continuing on through. We've got a three-way shot here for second place. Eddie Rose slides underneath and goes ahead and passes all three. Bruno, Montgomery, and Ehrman all at once there. Fantastic move as Eddie Rose slides into the second position, but he is a second off pace and picking up more speed here as he tries to get caught up to the front. Now, he came in on lap 61, and Eddie Rose may be trying to run him down here as he sawed off about 0.3 of a second. Last lap here for Eddie Rose was a 31.71. Andrew Payne is running a 32.18. So we'll keep an eye on Rose as he's going to be making a catch-up here very soon, but I do want to keep an eye on Dustin Montgomery, who right now is under fire by Dylan Walterman. Walterman on the outside, and here he comes, coming up behind the blinking of Eric Schaefer. We'll see if Walterman can hold it on through as he slams it to the floor, getting around, and he's going to squeeze down. No, he doesn't. Whew, man, Montgomery was thinking he might have been coming down. I don't think he checked up, and Tessie now up to 8th. Tessie definitely, after the spin out he had earlier, causing that giant massacre that we saw back on lap, I believe it was 60 or 61 there, where those guys are smashing of each other apart. And Walterman now breaking into the top 5 for the first time here tonight as his Toyota gets in there. Can he continue this roll as we get lap 78 complete, moving on to 79, 2 laps left to go before stage break.
Yeah, pretty sure Tessier was lap 65. It was Hastings that did the lap 60 caution. But, man, look at him fly full send.
Yeah, 3 drivers out on this track. Thomas Stanley, Robert Sanders, Brandon Hastings have taken it back to the garage. And guys still out here racing. Right now they are trying to hold on where Dylan Walterman is still keeping the charge. There may be some battles on the track, but I'm interested to see what this Toyota can do, as it looks like he gives a little nudge there to Dakota Ehrman heading through 3 and 4, and Tessie now picking up the pace. Tessie came down on 67 for 4 tires and some repair, and look at this. Spins out on 1 lap, and here he comes. Now he's fighting. 4th place for him puts Dakota Ehrman behind him, and right
Top
now,
5.
if you are sitting top 5, you can't hang your head. These guys are running on fresh tires. It looks like, oh, Walterman, something may have happened here. Might have burned the tires up. Right sides are definitely trying to hold on as Tessie battles for 3rd. Right now he's got to get at least that car in front of the 19, and he does, half a car length. And at the line, whoa, man, Tessie gets him.
Now, what I need to do, though, is I need you to roll back and show me when Rose took over from Payne.
Yeah, that would definitely be something we want to see. I know as that kind of overturned and made it happen, that was back on lap 78. He went up there and got past him. Let's see if we can take a look here.
We knew he was running faster by almost a second, and he had to have, yep. Oh, Payne just let it go.
Guys on the freshies, there's no sense in battling them. Just go in and let them on by.
Yeah, and you're a couple laps, you're going to be starting on the same row one way or another.
Yeah. But he comes away with the stage win there and gets around Andrew Payne. Payne's going to be making maybe a slight adjustment here to kind of offset the track. We're still about 98 out there on the track. Not too bad. I got to admit, the conditions are a lot better than they are here around the rest of kind of the Middle Eastern seaboard, if not the here on this side of the Mississippi. I know a lot of guys are dealing with below freezing temperatures. I know Stella, I think it's good. I think it's going to get around -3 around the Tennessee area.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, no, I'll pass.
Yeah. Well, definitely keep an eye here as everybody working their way down pit.
Boy,
Right now, I
you do
believe
mean everybody.
Yeah, except Kenny Davis. I think Kenny Davis is going to keep out and try to get his lap back. He's going to have to make a quick stop and then get back in here.
Okay. But that will be the last of our staged cautions. So anything after this will cost somebody a position.
Yeah. Boy. And what adjustment do you make, if any? You know, do you kind of up your tire pressure a little bit here?
I don't know.
Well, now you've got to be thinking long run. I mean, most of these have been kind of about that 40-lap spurt and then kind of continue on through. You know, what if this goes green the rest of the way? You know, some of these guys
True.
may be trying to stretch it out. You know, if they can make it 55 laps on a single tank of fuel, you know, how do we? Is there an adjustment that they can make to give it a little more longevity? You know, do they add just a slight bit more tape to try to give themselves a little, you know, a little longer fuel mileage, or give it a little extra front downforce to help with the front tires sticking to it? There are a lot of things they may be thinking about shuffling around and doing here. But it looks like everybody came down on 82. Sikosi's shooting out of pit now. Merritt is working his way down. Kenny Davis, he's coming his way down now. So
Take a look at where Tessie ended up. Do you think he had to do some more repairs when he came down for this one?
Well, from what I'm showing, about 20.6 seconds in the pit.
That'll do it. Okay. He goes from top 5 to what is it, like 13th? Yeesh.
Yeah. He's gonna be trying to chop back from this one. We'll see if he can hold on to it here. Andrew Payne does get back a hold of the lead here. Eddie Rose looked like he may have been a little bit slower down the pit lane. So if my calculations, if I'm looking at it here, drivers like Eddie Rose and I believe Walterman only have one set of tires left for this race.
Ooh. Okay.
So they came in and took tires back on lap 42. Then they took tires on the caution, and they just took tires now.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so we got one set of tires left to make it about another 80-some-odd laps.
Right. Well, that's doable. I mean, they were changing them every 40, and you've got another 80 to go, and so anywhere now around the 120 mark, if you need to come in for whatever, yeah, you got tires.
Yeah,
Or if you
Walterman,
think
though,
you
had
can go further.
actually had a really, really slow pit time of a 15:93.
Ew.
So he goes sitting at top 5. He was marching back. I was probably pretty happy about that caution coming out as Walterman drops down to 9th.
Yeah, but like you said, you thought he might have fried his tires off.
Right. Well,
Getting
what can
up
he
there.
do to not do that this time? You know, and the key is he's got to think long run. You don't want to push it too hard, so you want to sit back and kind of let them do their thing here. But Andrew Payne looks like he's not taking any prisoners. He's out and he's going, so he doesn't waste any time. He fights his way back out there and lets it get underway here. So Andrew Payne, Eddie Rose will be here in the front row. Dakota Ehrman and Mike Bruno, Eric Schaefer, Montgomery, Johnny Taylor, and Knopf here will be side by side, and that finishes off with Dylan Walterman and Brandon Banks. Getting back under green here in just a moment. Getting ready. Pace truck is off. Green flag is out, and away we go. Andrew Payne once again got nothing but track in front of him as everybody else battles from behind. Bruno goes ahead and tucks in front of Eddie Rose here for turn number 1. And Dakota Ehrman still on the outside here, trying to hold on where Eric Schaefer gets loose. And now Eddie Rose shooting on back. Hold on, everybody, because Eddie Rose looked like he slipped. Cold tires, and they didn't stick. 3 wide into 3. Here it comes now. Dustin Montgomery trying to stay out front. Eric Schaefer down on the bottom. Eddie Rose still rotating back. 6th position now. Looks like he might be able to tack up here. Tires are going to finally start sticking to the track, and he may be able to recover from this. But excellent job by our drivers out there on the track getting around a car. May started getting loose, and hopefully didn't take anybody out. But as we rotate up front for the battle for second, Dakota Ehrman's got it here. And Ehrman running down Andrew Payne. And I've got to say here, Stella, right now through turn 1 and 2 and through 3 and 4, he has run his fastest laps of the night. 15:42 through 1 and 2 and a 15:44 through 3 and 4. He's faster than anybody else here on the track. But is that going to be short term or long term? Let's figure out how he does it as he's making a battle here for the lead. He's got it. Just by a hair, though. Right now he's trying to see if he can squeak through. He makes the full pass. Andrew Payne, to me, I believe this isn't the first time. I know Eddie Rose had him there for a moment, but Ehrman is now leading the race, and he's going to be looking back at Andrew Payne as Dakota Ehrman ran a 30.9. Right now, no one else on the track has run anything less than a 31.
Well, if you got it, don't show it off until you have to. I mean, right now he's trying to do a little deja vu from the last time we were here.
Yeah, we've seen a couple times where Ehrman's burned his tires up early in the race, trying to take off and get a lead out there and squeeze away. Right now, I'm wondering if Andrew Payne is taking a kind of a book out of Corey Hines' kind of manual here of, all right, well, go ahead and pass me, buddy. I'll see you in about 15 laps, and then I'll wave as I go by. So we'll see if that holds on as Ehrman's out by half a second. Let's rotate on back to where I see Johnny Taylor taking a look, trying to see if he can squeak around. Montgomery and Bruno are still going at it. These two teammates side by side. And right now it's kind of chilling out here a little bit, Stella, and I'm wondering if everybody's kind of setting everything aside here and saying, you know what, we got a little bit to go. Let's kind of hang out, not kill each other here until we get closer to the end.
Yeah, this is where before, like you were saying, they were almost shootouts for each stage. Now we're looking at 80 laps. This is when, if you've set up for the long term, you take your time, you do your distance, you follow your lines, and you move on.
All right, well, somebody who's not moving up right now is Brandon Hastings into the playoffs. Daniel Simmons now in the 06 Toyota has taken it back to the garage. That gives us 4 here on the night who have not been able to finish this race. I know Thomas Stanley, he says he can finish every race, but it's hard to do it from the flag booth. So hopefully we'll see him next week at the playoff race. Right now, the 66 of Matt Sisler. Car's not looking too bad after the damage he suffered here earlier in the race. Fantastic work here. But Sisler works his way around Dylan Walterman. Craig Parks, he's down. He's sitting 17th. Up at least one from where he originally started this race, Stella. But a lot of guys, they're trying to kind of shoot their way around. Hamby under fire, and now Hamby toward the top. And remember, Hamby was actually part of a 3 wide, and that guys were shooting around him. Looks like he may have gotten that thing fixed up just enough to go ahead and keep this thing at least competitive out there on the track, aside from where he was looking before.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to say, is competitive. When you're brand new into a league, maybe it's terrible to say, I don't expect much. I don't expect a guy to come out here and finish even in the top 10 at this caliber of league. So hold your own and hold your line.
I know. Well, if you definitely have subscribed here to Simtrax Broadcasting, the only driver I've seen kind of come firing out of the gate would be Jeremy Burns. He came out of nowhere, definitely from the College E Series, and then took over by storm and actually started setting the 3-time champion out there, kind of put him in his place and said, hey, man, you think you're that good? And once again, somebody showed up, somebody put on a show, and he's now actually part of that team. So, Stella, if you can't beat him, join him.
I like it. Well, if you're so close, in talent with somebody, they both will have their own little nicks and knacks. And if they start trading those by being on the same team, it's just going to make both of them better.
Yeah, that we will. We bid farewell to the Racing Revolution League as they will be on V-Speed TV. We hope the best for them as they do for us, and maybe we'll see them later on in the future if they decide to come up with another league or kind of get their things together here. But we do wish them the best. V-Speed TV is where you're going to find them. But you can definitely find the NSR Xfinity Series here with us on Saturdays, brought to you by the NC811.org. And I believe we are getting ready to pick up the National Oval Racing Association. Nora, we'll definitely see how that goes, I believe, here in the next couple Tuesdays. We're going to host the Daytona 500 and the 1987 cars. I got to admit, those are my favorite. They're the fastest out of control car I've ever driven here on an asphalt oval. Definitely, you'll see pit times around 45 seconds and longer in some cases. Well, that's how they used to be before the Rainbow Warriors came out with a different way to do their pit stops. But we are still got our eyeballs here on Johnny Hamby, Stoney Benfield right now. I guarantee you somebody's looking out for him as he almost got wiped out there by the 70 of Hamby. Hamby's definitely having some trouble out here tonight. So it looks like he may have had too many beaver nuggets there, as it looks like Hamby has dropped down to 15th, but he is 9 up on the night.
I am hoping that's not a euphemism for something. What's a beaver nugget?
That's what Bucky sells.
Oh. Is it like beef jerky?
I don't know. I think it's like a pork rind.
God. Okay.
That's
Sorry.
right. I'm sure my wife out there in the chat will correct me here in just a moment as soon as she whips up that Google search. All right, let's see if we can float through this field here a little bit. I do see a couple of guys who might be kind of pushing each other a little bit around the Jesse Priest area. Priest is sitting here pretty snug in between Brandon Banks and Justin Cope, though. Cope definitely wanting to keep up with the field as he rounds out the separation here of the top 11 drivers. Tessie is about a light year behind him, 1 second that is, though. But here at Atlanta, 1 second is definitely a long way. Take a look back. That is the look off Justin Cope looking back at Jesse Priest.
Wow.
Yeah, well, you see how the field is spread apart now, and this is not what you want to see, especially if you're in one of those teams that are all the way here in the back. Definitely going to have some hard work to do. Let's see if we can find out. I think Johnny Taylor, I think he was getting ready to take Eddie Rose and put him behind him, but that decides to slow down just a little bit, but not so fast. Let's see if we can take a look. Kind of, you see how Jamie Knopf gets around Eric Schaefer. Schaefer stays on track there, and still Payne got a hold of Ehrman and passed him for the lead. So Stella, we've got a couple of guys who are really really kind of shuffling around this track here, and guys are, where are they? How are they getting around there? And why has it been so fast? So 97 was kind of the final straw there, where it looked like they were shuffling back and forth here. This was the battle for the lead. As you see, Andrew Payne decides to take the outside line. High side, looks like Ehrman's going to get a good solid middle turn, passes him back there, and then Andrew Payne to the floor and passes Dakota Ehrman there.
Oh, sure did.
Yep, piece of cake. That was the pass for the lead back on lap 97, so not too long ago. About a couple laps, if I'm not mistaken, as we stay under green here to get lap 102 underway. Stella, this is looking pretty good here. Tony Kiv out there, he's laughing at you.
I know.
All right.
I don't know. I just didn't know where you were going with that.
No. Oh man. Well, they definitely built one of the bigger Buc-ee's near my area, so Texas had to one up us again, especially here in the state of Tennessee. All right, let's check back in on Brandon Banks and Jesse Priest here. Priest sitting right behind it. It looks like Cope trying to fend him off. I don't know if Cope's going to be able to have any luck here trying to keep that car off of him. Let's take a look back as Justin Cope right now trying to hold on to it here as he rotates on through the turn, but we're already noticing the guys who pit on lap 82 are taking it a little easier through these turns as they get off the accelerator and letting the car rotate. Yeah, off the gas much longer, at least getting almost halfway through the turn here before he gets back on the gas and then tries to get taken off yet again. So right now, Justin Cope might be thinking long range here and trying to hold on and see if, Johnny Taylor, Eric Schaefer, or Mike Bruno decide to burn those tires off once again and have any trouble. Once again, Johnny Taylor taking another shot at Eddie Rose, but right now, Johnny Taylor cannot get past him. Eddie Rose turning into the size of a rail car here and not letting him by. Right now, this is definitely becoming extremely hard for the 46 Chevrolet to kind of stay on the track. I'm wondering if Eddie Rose is actually blocking Johnny Taylor or Taylor is just hitting the same exact acceleration spots and just can't get around the 46.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of times you say, well, he's just following this line or that line, but I tell you right now, I think some of these guys are driving in their rear view. They're making sure that they can get, keep everybody in behind them and keep their place.
Yeah, it's interesting as we ride along here with Johnny Taylor that he stays low for so long. I expect him to kind of, once you see how he kind of lets off the gas there a little bit, if he accelerates and rotates up the track a little bit, he might be able to reel him in. I was no top 5 driver at all in the Xfinity series, but he may be able to know something I don't and may put more stress on that right front tire doing it that way, but I'm just wondering if he might sacrifice a little bit of tire percentage and life expectancy of that tire to see if he can get around that 46 of Eddie Rose. Right now, a little extra steam he's putting on for this turn, and no can do. It looks like he gets so close, but Johnny Taylor loses ground yet again, and he's going to be chasing. Let's get back to Cope and Banks, where Banks now takes a look to the outside. 54 of Brandon Banks and Justin Cope going at it here, and Cope in the Ford trying to fend off the Chevrolet of Banks. Right now, Preece is going to make a decision, and right now it looks like Banks is going to be his decision. Top line for the 0 car, and I don't know if Preece expected that turn, because now he fell way off here. Keep it on through. Cope, loose. No. So Cope gets way loose, rotating through the turn here between 1 and 2 on lap 108. Definitely he's going to be losing a bunch of positions here. Alex Tessie will be next in line, and I think Tessie's going to pass him, putting Cope down to 12th.
Man, it does not take much. One teeny little adjustment, or slip up, and man, 3 places. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, that's all it takes as they kind of shuffle on through. Taylor taking another look at it yet again. Less than a tenth of a second off Eddie Rose here, and Knopf is hanging back. Interesting enough, let's see if we can check back on Brandon Banks. Banks has to make up about a second here to find Eric Schaefer. That's unfortunate, seeing that we are still top 10 drivers off by almost 5 to 6 seconds. They've got a lot of work to do to fight their way back to the front here. I don't know if they're going to have enough to do it. Let's see if we can check back on Sikosi. I want to see how Sikosi's doing. Right now he's sitting 17th. Kind of a decent spread, about 3/4 of a second in front and behind, but he is making up some ground here on Craig Parks. Dylan Walterman burned up the tires, 19th position for him, and he's got to hurry up right now. If he's about 14 seconds off, that leaves him half a lap off from going a lap down here. This could be definitely detrimental. And Jerry Culver back down pit road here. I don't know if the Culver has been having nothing but trouble out of that car here tonight.
Did we just see somebody make a last-minute decision? Somebody in blue?
Yes, Matt Sisler.
Yeah. Okay. Woo. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, right now Sisler not having the best night here of the night. He's been battling that car. He's trying to figure out how to get this thing fixed. But that is not working. What in the world happened here to Sisler?
Loose,
Take
a lot
look.
loose.
Now you see the tire streaks already.
Yeah.
He's on the brakes.
Yeah.
It's not stopping.
No, it is not. Wow.
Wow, that is heartbreaking.
Wow. Look way early.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it
I
was
would definitely
not-
expect to see some sort of a pit penalty here. 35 seconds in the box, so definitely I guarantee it we were either speeding in or he entered after the cone. Yep, hey, check that out. Look out there in the chat. Unsafe pit entrance as well. Great, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
insult to injury, I gotta say. All right, let's take a look. Taylor again. No, I swear, every time I pop over here to Johnny Taylor and Eddie Rose, Taylor has got an edge on him. He's off him by about 40 thousandths of a second. I click to him to see how he's doing, get the cameraman to pay attention to the Team Conti car of Johnny Taylor in the number 3 Chevrolet, and he's given up and he's sitting behind him again. So let's see if we can take a look. As right now, he's almost got him. Right now, Johnny Taylor staying on the bottom here. Ugh. Just the turn exit here of Eddie Rose. And I always wonder, if you're under fire for this many laps and you got a guy passing you underneath and then not, and then passing you underneath, I mean, how nervous do you get that he's going to get loose and catch it?
Stress, yeah.
I mean, just constantly. It's not follow the leader. It's not, hey, just hit my marks and make it happen. I mean, I've got a guy that's in my door panel every single turn, and it's just got to wear you down like, man, how in the world am I going to beat this guy? Because he just won't go away.
Well, if you're talking about Eddie Rose, you may need some pruning shears to work on that one.
Yeah. Let's take a look. Is Eddie Rose taking another look here yet again? Here comes Johnny Taylor to the inside. All right, let's see if he gets the full pass this time. Ooh, that looks good. That looks like a good turn here.
He's going.
Yeah, I think he's got him. Oh, no. Taylor. No. Losing speed. Down on the bottom too long. He's got to tuck in quick. Yeah, there you go. Rose gives him a good shove. He's going to head into 3 and 4 a little faster than he wants to. And now let's see what Eddie Rose decides to do. Man, definitely letting him know he wasn't happy about that. Dustin Montgomery on his way down pit.
Yep, he decided I was not going to slow down, so you're going to move faster,
Yep.
whether you like it or not.
Well, Johnny Taylor moves up to 3rd now as he gets Mike Bruno in the rearview mirror. Eddie Rose now 5th, and Knopf still sits in 6th. Now, Knopf and Taylor were both riding side by side or front and rear there for a while, kind of doing the follow the leader deal, and they have now become separated by at least a couple of positions here. Bruno and Rose separate these two guys. And I'm wondering if they're going to rejoin, if Knopf's got something going on with his Toyota, or if he's sitting back and looking to attack even later. So let's rotate back to Jesse Priest. Priest now staying in front of Banks. Banks is now in the 9th position. And Tessie sits top 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Even after the, having to do a little extra in the pit, he's got himself back up to top 10. That's pretty good. But what I am also noticing is that Payne is stretching that lead now out to about the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, that he is. Definitely. He does not let the fall off take effect on his car as bad as it did for some of these other guys. Tessie trying to hold on to it here, but right now, consider what Tessie's fighting right now is he's got a guy on fresh tires that is shooting around the track here. Down on the bottom, that should be Dustin Montgomery that we see right now. Yep, right there in the number 12. No, it does say on our ticker he should be in the 41. Hopefully we'll get that straightened out for next week. So we'll definitely keep an eye out there and hope he can get that car number squared away, either on the car or somebody needs to fix it on my end. But we'll keep it under wraps and continue on the race here when we get going. All right. Yep. Getting that schedule ready for me as we get locked and loaded for our next league that we're going to be rocking with. Definitely, I know that the NSR is considering some other things and maybe some changes here to the league, and we're hoping for some great ones.
Like an expansion?
Yeah, an expansion, new drivers, definitely a whole bunch of new people, new things that they can run with, and possibly dash for cash. I can't wait. I think they got a bunch of stuff in the works. And right now, I would always say no league is ever perfect, but they can always make changes, and that is exactly what this league does, is make up those changes. Justin Cope, pit lane. All right, let's go ahead and keep it on going here. Payne out in front by almost over a second and about a quarter past that. Looks like Taylor, he's hanging off almost 5 seconds, but he sits 3rd. Bruno is our 4th place driver. Eddie Rose is 5th. Knopf sits in 6th. Then we reach back another 1.5 seconds to Eric Schaefer. And finding Jesse Priest 0.5 seconds off that. Brandon Banks hanging right out behind him. And rounding out our top 10 would be Alex Tessie. Stoney Benfield, right now he's got to be feeling pretty happy now. Remember how I said our point standings were looking out there?
Yes.
Right now Stoney is got to be tickled pink right now, as he now is guaranteed in the playoffs as long as he can get a solid finish here. Brandon Hastings, he is down and out with a 23rd position finish. The only person that can swap with Hastings is Michael Strickland. But Stella, guess who's not here?
Michael Strickland.
Michael Strickland. And neither is Wheeler.
Or Fonseca.
Right. So Fonseca may have been a little out there. Craig Parks, he would almost need to win this one to get in. But regardless, Hastings may still be in the chase, even with the dismal finish he had here tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I mean, he's a contender.
Yeah. Now Hastings going to be having to definitely put up or shut up in the next race. And Stella, the next race is going to be an insane one. And I've got to say, how they're doing it is really something. As they do the round of 12, they make one race and then shave off 4 drivers. It's not a 3 races and the best out of 3. You move on. It's going to be close.
And you might be done.
Right. Right now, I think Corey Hines will be the only one that'd be safe as Alex Tessie decides to check out the safer barrier wall there for just a moment. There for lap 125. All right, and but we head to Nashville Super Speedway. So we're going to head to a concrete track first for the Music City 250. And boy, oh boy, that's going to be a wild race. I like Nashville a lot. The way some of these turns and the guys have to set up to really conquer at least two of them, because kind of that tunnel turn really in the middle trips everybody up. You can sling through it, but you got to be prepared how you're going to handle the next turn when it does when it kind of comes up. All right, Stella, this is looking pretty solid here so far for the round of 12. After that, we moved to Chicagoland. Unfortunately, that track has been shut down due to COVID, and they found a better use to make it as a parking lot for the Ford vehicles that do not have computer chips. All right, Bruno Hamby, still down pit road here. Yeah, they just got into the box, so they're working on getting that squared away. Keep an eye out there. Ehrman now in the lead as Payne is working his way down pit. Interesting to see Ehrman hang out for much longer. Johnny Taylor sits second. Knopf is third. Eric Schaefer is fourth. Brandon Banks rounding out her top five. I would probably expect Ehrman to come down pit road this time. He is not. Wonder if he's hoping for tires later on in the run.
That's what I would be thinking. If he was able to pass Payne so handily when he had good tires going, or they had equal tires, I think he's looking for, to push as far as he can on the ones he's got, so he'll still have life in them at the end.
Yeah, I would agree with you but his last lap time was a 33.24.
Ew.
And right now, if Andrew Payne can come back out running solid times of a 31 seconds, right now every lap that Dakota Ehrman's out, he's losing 2 seconds. So Dakota Ehrman would have to drive the tires off this car to get back to it. So I don't know if Dakota Ehrman has a short run car or if he's trying to set this thing up for a long run and maybe give it a last 25 lap spurt here at the end.
Yeah, I would. Whoa, no.
And that's probably going to do it for his race there.
Yes, it is.
Yep, Ehrman missing pit road.
Oh, that's painful.
Yep.
I don't know if he was speeding and didn't make the turn, or just didn't make the, made the cone. Didn't make the cone. Oh no, I think he missed his pit box.
Nope. No, he's good to go.
Oh, good.
All righty, Stoney came down to lap 82 with most of these other drivers, Jamie Knopf and Dylan Walterman. These guys definitely going to have to pit here pretty soon. Knopf working his way down. Benfield, yep, he's slowing down. Benfield definitely, he don't want to do what everybody else has been doing, kind of slinging past pit road here. All right, and we'll see Dylan Walterman, see if he comes down. He should be the last of our holdouts here. No, he's going to head on around. Dylan Walterman now in the lead, out in front.
He just wants to give it a try. Come on.
I don't blame him. Dylan Walterman is our leader right now. He's going to try to see if he can get around. Oh, no. Dylan Walterman, no.
Hang on to it, buddy.
Yeah, right now, Dustin Montgomery will be the next one in line. If they decide to pass him here, Walterman, I guarantee you that he said, yep, that's enough for me. No, he's going to stay out again.
Really? Oh, my dear.
Yeah, the number 12 you see coming up behind him, Dustin Montgomery, is getting ready to pass him for the lead. He has been on fresh tires since lap 116. Now, Montgomery came down very, very early compared to everybody else out there, so right now Montgomery may be having a little bit more trouble trying to run it down. Oh my gosh, right now Dylan Walterman is loose.
Come on, baby, get in.
Yep, there goes Montgomery. On around him, Andrew Payne, he's playing catch up here. Right now, Payne is off by about 4.5 seconds. Walterman, wow, not pitting.
Didn't.
Is not pitting.
Oh my heavens.
Well, we saw Walterman is able to really tear it up here on the track on the fresh tires. And I'm wondering if that's what he's trying to do, is hold out as long as he can. Or if something insane happens, like a caution.
Yeah.
If the caution comes out, then he wouldn't go laps down. He'd be able to come down, pit 4 tires, and get back out there.
Unless he causes the caution.
Yep, here he comes.
There we go.
Oh, he's trying.
There you go. Okay.
All right, well, we'll see if he came in too fast. 55 miles an hour is the pit lane limit.
Yeah, 50.
50?
Well, that's what a NASCAR puts it at 45. You told me it was set for 50. So I corrected my sheet to say 50.
We'll take an eye on Dylan Walterman's pit lane time. 10 seconds in the box for him so far. It looked like he entered in around the 60 area. We'll see if he's able to make it. 14.88 out of the box he goes. So no speeding for him. Dakota Ehrman is a lap down, though, and once again beating his fastest time of the night with a 30.86. He is still the only driver. I lied. Eric Schaefer, 30.98.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely some fast speed out here. Drivers there laps down are Alex Tessie, Matt Sisler. Good Lord, definitely a bunch of guys right now. Walterman, Ehrman, Parks, Sisler, Tessie, Hamby. But I believe Hamby and Tyler Merritt have taken it back to the garage now.
That is what mine's showing.
Wow. That's kind of getting knocked out, so that leaves us 18 drivers. They're still out on the track. Top 12 are still lead lap, I believe. I believe Johnny Taylor might be the last guy. Or the first guy on the lap down. I think Stoney's about to head a lap down here in just a moment. As Dustin Montgomery is still leading this race. Payne is right behind him. Payne, was behind him, is now going to be in front of him here. And the one we thought might be able to hold up and run Andrew Payne down had a pit stop time of 55.05 seconds. Yeah, so Dakota Ehrman has got to be hanging his head on this one. Definitely everything all the way to the end.
All right.
Wow. Yep. So Mike Bruno would be the closest one to get to him here. So let's rotate back to the field. Let's see how Schaefer's doing. Schaefer back here with Eddie Rose. Jesse Priest gaining 12 here on the night, sitting fourth.
Yeah, but Bruno's still, 7 seconds behind.
Right now, Brandon Banks coming alive, though. Boy, he just shot through. He came in on lap 127 here, still getting around. Justin Cope puts him in the rear view and is now pulling away. Right now, Banks has to make up about 2 seconds to reach up to Eddie Rose.
Yeah, they're pretty spread out here between 1 and 2, and then 3 Brunos all by himself, and then you've got Schaefer, Priest, and Rose in their own clump. Banks all by himself. So it's not the happiest.
No, it is not. All right, we'll keep an eye on some of our guys out here in the background, but we're going to get a shout out from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC 811 app. Know what's below before you dig. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
What a nice day to install my new mailbox.
Hi there, friend. I'm Dig Safely Man. My job is to ensure you call 811 before you dig.
Why do I need to do that?
Vital utilities like natural gas and electric run just beneath the Earth's surface. Damaging them can cause service interruption, environmental hazards, or personal injury.
I thought only contractors had to call before they dig, so homeowners do too.
Call 3 business days before you dig unless you have X-ray vision. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
20 laps to go left here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We've got a great race here so far. Only a few caution flags here on the night. They were almost back-to-back on restarts there, and a couple later on that had taken out just a few drivers. But we've got a couple of guys out there right now. Mark Sikosi is the one going down, leaving our top 10 drivers the only ones here on the lead lap. 19 to go here with the ATL 250, brought to you by the NSR Xfinity Series, with the NC 811 as our main sponsor here of the league. Definitely appreciate you guys joining us here at Simtrax Broadcast, especially chiming in on the chat out there. I know Jay Walterman 5, Tony Kiv out there, Matt Sisler, and I believe even Thomas has been joining us out there with Barbara Pinion. So I know a lot of guys have been joining and enjoying this broadcast that we bring to you here tonight. A couple of heartbreakers out there for, I believe, looking at Brandon Hastings. He was down and out back on lap 50, about lap 60 is where he ended up getting wiped out. Had to tow and took it back to the garage. Daniel Simmons on the same lap, he ended up getting taken out. So Team Conti getting a huge hit here tonight. And Kenny Davis, lap 102, he was wiped out. Robert Sanders just couldn't boomerang back from being a lap down at the beginning. And Merritt, Hamby, Montgomery, a lot of guys having a lot of time trying to figure out how to get back. But right now, with the clinic Andrew Payne's been putting on tonight, Dakota Ehrman was the only one really from our angle looked like he may have been able to have something, but an unsafe pit entry has sent Dakota Ehrman a lap down here, and right now he's trying to see if he can at least get maybe a top 10 if Andrew Payne gets around Johnny Taylor.
Yeah, it's a close one, but we can't forget out there T.S. Ritchie won. Rooting on Stoney Benfield that's in the chat. We appreciate you chiming in also.
Oh, yeah. And especially since I know Stoney is out there as well. You guys definitely keep an eye out there and watch him race, but you see us from the bird's eye view from everywhere. You get only inside of his car on his angle, but I'm sure the faster pastor likes showing you what he can see. And I know he definitely gets in some
Tight ones.
yeah, and try to shuffle around and see what they can get going. Let's see. I believe he moved up 2 places just while we were showing his commercial. Yeah.
So that's pretty good. Be careful. He might have you show it a few more times.
yeah, probably. It might help. I want to check back on Eddie Rose here. Rose right now, he's running some slower laps here of the night with a 32.77. Right now, that is actually slow enough to be just in front of Brandon Banks. So Jamie Knopf and Priest are actually driving faster than that and might be able to run him down. I don't know if Eddie Rose is kind of sandbagging it here a little bit until he can get caught up to Eric Schaefer. That Schaefer's actually been slowing down just a hair as well with a 32.73. So I don't know if some of these other guys are trying to hold on to the very end with 14 laps left to go. This is looking pretty solid here. You see Knopf down on the bottom. Knopf, no. Is this going to be another Team Conti battle here? Looks like Eddie Rose is going to try to hold him out here. Right now, the 28 machine unable to clear. And that is Eric Schaefer right in front of him. Eddie Rose, fantastic work here. And right now, we kind of need to keep an eye on what we've got going on here with Eddie Rose. Already checking out there in the chat. He's Thomas looks like he says we're doing an amazing job. And is he saying we need to get you down on the track for in-race reports?
I think so. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It might be an idea to try to check in on some of these guys and see what's going on. And definitely I know with Corey Boudinot as our normal race control, Thomas out there doing a fantastic job here tonight, trying to make sure guys aren't speeding and black flags are handed out accordingly.
Or
right?
waved accordingly.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're not admin privilege waived.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. A little shout out there to Kevin Orlando. He ended up winning a race by waving his own black flag, but mistakes happen and penalties were dealt at that race. So, all right, Stella, right now, it looks like everybody might be kind of getting pretty solid here and almost content, except Eddie Rose and Jamie Knopf here. Right now, these two going at it again. Right now, Knopf in the Toyota. Oh, man, he's got a good angle on him. I think Eddie Rose might have him this time. Oh, Oh, Eddie Rose on the outside, just unable to clear. Right now, Jamie Knopf onto the bottom. He's got the inside turn. Yes, almost, not yet, maybe.
Dive,
yes,
dive.
so close. Eddie Rose, watch this turn exit here. Excellent turn here, Eddie Rose. He's actually on the back foot here, trying to see if he can hold him off, but no can do as the 28 of Jamie Knopf is still sticking it out here, holding that Johnny Taylor line onto the bottom. Taylor has fought himself up into a top 10. Eddie Rose, he has set this car up for high line running, and it is working perfectly.
It is.
Yeah, the 46 definitely looked like he's going to check out. His full send here from Knopf. Knopf may have to rotate up the track to keep it off. Oh, man. Side draft, got a hold of the 46 there, loosened him up and into the wall.
Yep.
Well, great move here with less than 10 laps left to go. Andrew Payne still leading this one here. And still, this has been a fantastic race here so far. We've seen a couple of cautions here. We've seen guys side by side. We've seen guys getting loose and sliding all over the track. We saw guys having pit road trouble. This thing's got everything.
A little bit of everything, whether it be good or bad.
Yeah.
But take a look at the fact that Payne now has over a 10-second lead in this race over number 2, Bruno in the 19 car.
Yeah, right now these two guys sitting 1 and 2 is their original starting position here on the night. And right now, making that so, still pulling away, Andrew Payne is. I'm sure 10 seconds is probably a nice, comfortable spot. I would wonder if Andrew Payne and Corey Hines would go at it, doing some driving like this, see how those two would handle out here.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think that may be a bigger gap than we've seen Corey lead, but never know with the way these guys challenge themselves by starting at the end and working their way up through. I don't know. Corey may have still had an edge.
Yeah, Andrew Payne actually hanging out on that top line, trying to be a little more conservative on those tires. That way they'll last and he will continue his charge forward. But an excellent job here. I love the lines he's running. They just look so smooth. Guys aren't jerking around. Ooh, man. Well, I can't say anything.
Wasn't just me?
Yeah, you and I saw Corey Hines actually sliding around the last track there at Indianapolis as he was diving into the turns, and he was almost sliding them sideways through the turns, and he was picking up pace. It boggled my mind. I couldn't compute how he was doing that, but he was definitely doing a fantastic job at doing it.
Yes. I always thought that when you start that kind of drifting scenario, that you're not pushing as hard. You know, you're sliding, so you don't have that grip and that forward momentum, and you would lose your get up and go. But it was not the case when last week.
No, it wasn't. 5 laps left to go here. Andrew Payne still leading this one. Bruno is our second place driver. Right behind him is Eric Schaefer. Jamie Knopf trying to see if he can catch up. I don't know if he's going to have enough time, but he's definitely going to try. Eddie Rose sits 5th. Jesse Priest is 6th. Brandon Banks way back there, about 4 seconds off, trying to chase down Priest. Cope sits 8th. Benfield is 9th. And Johnny Taylor rounding out our top 10. But the battle here is actually for 9th. As you see Johnny Taylor get around Stoney. Stoney holds up onto the top line. And it looks like the number 75 is going to march back to the 10th spot. Now unable to switch him up here. I thought high side back down to low. Stoney was getting ready to set him up there, but no can do. Sikosi, top of the chart there for the guy lap down. We end up with a caution. He's back on the lead lap, but Sikosi and Ehrman are going to be the next two to see if they can get the lucky dog, but they are separated by at least 3 seconds. And Ehrman, 3.5 behind Sikosi, but 3.5 in front of Dylan Walterman. Boy, definitely, you want to talk about guys shuffling it up here. Tyler Merritt, I mean, he started 5th here on the night. 20th position finish. I mean, just brutal. Alex Tessie, I mean, he started 10th. He's now 17th.
Yeah, and made such a comeback after that caution on 65. But I guess it's just a little bit too much repair work.
Yeah, just unable to boomerang back. We are looking at Ehrman looking back on the rest of the field here. And I think that is actually Knopf hanging out there with him, Schaefer and Bruno. Yeah, Bierman's here, and that's actually Andrew Payne that just passed him a while back to put him that lap down.
Well,
Boy,
with
look
2
at
to
the
go,
speed.
it's not gonna be long now. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is actually Andrew Payne. Looks like he might put Stoney down a lap down as the white
just
flag
watching.
comes out. Yeah, coming around the track, Andrew Payne and the 93 Chevrolet been flawless all night. Nothing is going to deny him from this win right now. This is excellent work here. Out there on the track, couple of guys sending it off here in the back. Seeing if they can get a little more. Right now, it looks like, yeah, Andrew Payne not going to be able to get past Stoney here. Let's see how Bruno, Schaefer, Knopf, Eddie Rose are going to be our guys here in the top 5. So Bruno, what a race this was for him. We saw him shuffle back a few times, and Eric Schaefer with the blinking 3rd place. Wow. What a race.
Yeah, that was a good race, though. I've really been enjoying these NSR races. They get out there, they work hard, and they run clean.
Yeah, run clean, great racing. Lack of cautions. I think some of the ones tonight were a little silly. We saw Tessie get loose looked like he sidestepped it there, which was kind of a bummer. But
Hastings kind of got clipped. That was, not unavoidable. That caused the one on 60. So, and other than that, we've had wonderful recoveries from. Oh, very nice. I like that set of donuts. That was almost a cruller that he did earlier there.
Yeah, actually, not a bad race here. I'm looking for Eric Schaefer and Mike Bruno here in just a moment. We'll try to see if we can gather these guys up. Fantastic race here by Andrew Payne. We'll have a chat with him here in just a moment. You guys, if you've been here before, you know what's got to happen. I'm going to wrangle these guys up. Don't go away. Alrighty, everybody. I have caught up to him. Our 3rd place finisher, Eric Schaefer. What a race this was. You started outside the top 5. Talk to me a little bit about how you made it through this.
Had a good qualifying run, man, and at the beginning of the run, the car needed a little bit of adjustment, and mostly let a lot of the guys go just because I couldn't hang with them there at the beginning, and yeah, once I let the car even out a little bit during that long first stage, he started coming back to me, started picking a couple more spots off, and then we were able to make some adjustments in pits, and for the rest of the race was pretty good.
Man, oh man. Definitely, some of these guys got wrecked out, and we haven't seen many cautions from you guys. Atlanta's really a tough track to drive. You prefer this one or when it's a super speedway?
Oh, this one definitely. This is like one of the best tracks on the sim, man. It's Something's different with it now, though. Ever since they did that refresh a couple weeks ago with the dynamic track temperature and everything, it doesn't drive like it used to. But no, it's still like one of the best tracks on the sim.
Hmm. Yeah, well, I knew it used to be fast. Even all the way back in like the NASCAR Thunder and NASCAR Heat, man, Atlanta was one of the fastest tracks out here. Guys being able to almost nudge the edge of that 200-mile-an-hour mark. But we head to a track that's not very old, but kind of slightly new to the Cup Series in the past decade is Nashville Speedway. I mean, how confident you feeling heading to coming off this and moving to a concrete track?
Oh, I love Nashville Super Speedway, man. That's one of my. So I got three or four favorite tracks: Atlanta, Richmond, Iowa, and Nashville Super Speedway. And yeah, I love them all, man. But going to that one, I'm really looking forward to that one. I know tomorrow night we got a test lined up for all the Be Open Reaper guys, and so see if we can work on a set and make it pretty good for the week.
All righty, man. Well, we'll definitely want to see how you do. Go and give me a shout outs here while I got you.
Yeah, appreciate you guys putting on the broadcast. Really appreciate it. Thank you to all the admins in the league. NC811. Appreciate them sponsoring. Huge shout out to Reaper and all the DVR guys, man. I appreciate it.
All righty, Eric Schaefer. Congratulations on your third place finish, and hopefully we'll catch up with you next week.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Eric Schaefer, what a fantastic job that was. But right now we're going to talk to Mike Bruno. Bruno, man, this was a excellent race here tonight. You shuffled back in the field a little bit, but you were able to fight your way back to the front. Was it an adjustment, or was it kind of going according to plan?
A little bit of both. I think the adjustment there definitely helped out for me to be able to run the top, but it definitely wasn't enough to get to Andrew. That dude was lights out fast. Still a ton of fun, though.
Man, well, you only qualified about 2/10 slower than Andrew Payne, but almost an 11-second gap to catch that guy here at the very end. Kind of any adjustment, maybe seeing what, how he kind of came out here tonight that you could have made to get caught up.
Not too sure. Maybe pit a little bit later. I think that kind of helped and hurt me in the same time. I mean, Andrew, I think he was going to stay in front of me no matter what, but I was hoping that the long run would have came in a little bit better and I could have just made more time up on the top. The thing just kept getting loose on me. And it was just pretty much all I was fighting.
Yeah, you and Dakota Ehrman were. It looked like you guys were teaming up and trying to figure out a way to kind of run, to run that guy down. Ehrman, unfortunately, with a terrible pit stop. I don't think his car wanted to stop at all. But I'm sure you don't want to stop your charge forward. This is a fantastic run here tonight. You were already locked in the playoffs because your consistency has paid off. Unfortunately, no win yet so far, so hopefully we'll see, if you're able to get one of those here in the playoffs. But we start at Nashville. Confidence level heading there.
Oh, I hope so, brother. Nashville, I'd say, I don't know. I'm not the best there. Maybe 80-85%. We're going to do a lot of tests and see how we feel, but yeah, hopefully it goes good, man.
Yeah, I hope so. Definitely. I call you guys the Liquid Molly team. You guys are definitely the same paint schemes. You guys are racing around each other. The key is not killing each other, and that's what you guys do. Just great racing out there. But, man, oh, man, great job here tonight on your second place finish. Give me your shout-outs.
Thank you, bud. Yeah, big shout-out to my team, Phase 2, Liquid Molly, the sponsors, and thank you guys for doing what you do.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Definitely go back. We see a lot of you on the racetrack. Congratulations, and we'll catch you in Nashville.
Thanks again, bud.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Fantastic job we've seen here by Mike Bruno. But Andrew Payne is the man of the night here, and really he was on a solid roll. There was nothing that was going to stop this guy at all, and we'll go ahead and grab him. Andrew Payne, what a wild race this was here tonight, dude. You nothing but looking out the windshield for you.
Yeah, it was a really good race up front. I know Dakota was giving me a little bit of trouble there, and I know he had that unfortunate pit deal where I think he tagged the cone, but yeah, it was a sort of a roller coaster in the middle there, and then once we got that long green run at the end, it was sort of nice clean sailing from there.
Is fresh air the key to winning here tonight?
I think it was a huge part. these cars are super aero dependent, and a couple times I had, Dakota and Dustin, they would start running the high side, and I wasn't quite prepared to run the high side, but I had to go up and cover them because I knew that they were going to get better runs. And, dirty air is, here especially, is not great. You can sort of manage it, but, I just wanted to be up front, clean air as much as I could, and it's not as bad as it has been in the past. The new updates to the sim with the dynamic tracks have sort of helped the dirty air problems a little bit, but there's definitely still present, and definitely can affect the race car.
All right. Well, let's talk about the effect on the race car and kind of things you guys do. Is you guys spend a lot of time as Team Conti doing a lot of setups. You guys build the setups. You guys get them squared away. You test drive. You get them fixed out. But I would say with the gap you placed on the rest of this field, are we sharing the same build as Corey Hines out there?
Well, I believe that we're all getting the same stuff. I think it's just a matter of how many laps we put in during the week. I know I've done a few official races this week. Trying to just learn the car, learn the track. I'm not before the update, I wasn't really great here. I just had overdriven problems, and I actually worked a lot with our builder Nick this week, and he really helped me sort of get myself situated here. And I've probably have 400 or 500 laps here this week, and I know that helps a lot. But these setups are bad fast, especially out in the clean air, and could not be happier with how it drove tonight.
All right, man. I haven't seen much of you here in this league, and seeing how you put on a clinic here tonight, is there a chance we may see you at Nashville?
It all sort of depends on my schedule. Originally, this race was not on my schedule, but I had an opening and wanted to run it, partially because I was enjoying myself this week in the officials here. And without a night win, you might see me back out at Nashville. I think I only have one other start this season, and that was the first race at Chicagoland, excuse me. But if things continue to go this way, you guys might see me a little bit more often.
All right. Well, we definitely hope so. Especially with how you did tonight. I know Team Conti has been doing a lot of pulling away from this field out here, but definitely I think you're a fantastic addition and did one heck of a job. I mean, right now I'm showing my gap at 11.12 is what you won by, which is, to me, that's insane. I mean, when you guys are running 30-second laps and you're leading by a third of a lap, that's impressive. Nashville will be next, man, and I can't wait to see what you got there at the concrete track, man. Go and give me your shout-outs here before we let you go.
Well, first and foremost, huge shout-out to you guys for broadcasting. I'm looking forward to going back and watching the race after a little later tonight. And, huge shout-out to NC188.org for sponsoring the series. Really appreciate them coming aboard for this season. Huge shout-out to all the admins and the owners for putting the league on. I know I've only run a couple races, but both races I've run have been an absolute blast this season. Huge shout out to Team Conti Sim Performance and Mardon PCs. I'm new to the Team Conti program, but really happy to be over here and be able to put some winning setups and good setups in victory lane. Huge shout out to all my fellow competitors out there for putting on a really good show tonight. We all ran each other super clean and really appreciate that. Huge shout out to all the fans that come out and support the broadcast, the league, the drivers. I really appreciate you guys coming out and watching us run some virtual ovals tonight. And, last but certainly not least, huge shout out to my, parents and grandparents for supporting me in all my forms of racing. Would not be here right now without their support. And looking forward to next week's race.
Man, I love your shout-outs. Your shout-outs rule. Andrew, congratulations on your win here tonight at the ATL 250, and we'll hopefully we'll catch you next week, my man.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep. All right, Stella, that was
professional, man.
I know. He had that thing squared away. I love it. I know the professionals, Stella, they get out there and they go, well, I'd like to thank the Team Conti team for making a perfect setup on my race here tonight. That's why I was able to stay out front for so long and so fast. It was like, good Lord. That's how you set them up. But Stella, what a great race this was here. A couple of cautions. I think it was 4 in total. 2 of them unscheduled, but still, regardless, a fantastic race here that these guys put on at Atlanta. We head to Nashville next. What's your excitement level heading into that concrete kind of weird tri-oval that they've shaped over there?
My excitement level.
Woohoo. Okay.
Oh, not woohoo.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely try to get just as cranked for that race. Definitely keep an eye out there on the NSR Facebook page where they're going to be posting the playoff positions. I believe Brandon Hastings is going to make it. Right now, I know somebody who might be hurting is Matt Sisler, but he should be A-OK to get on through. Sikosi, he should be okay. Stoney Benfield was above their line by 9. He should be okay. Hastings was the one, but Strickland Wheeler didn't show up here tonight, so that should just definitely be an underhanded pitch. He's going to make it. But appreciate you guys here for joining us at SimTrack's broadcast and bringing you the NSR Xfinity Series. You guys want to race with these guys? You think you're that fast? Well, go ahead and give them a try for an open setup Xfinity League. These guys are definitely putting on some solid times. But, Stella, anything else?
No, sir.
All righty. All right, everybody. Be well, be safe, be kind, and we'll see all you guys next time.